Hey everyone, welcome to episode 10 of the Nevada Entrepreneurs Podcast. I am here with my guests and fellow speakers of the last event, John Amar of Next Tech and Sonia Petkewich of the Catalyst Mastermind.
You got my name right.
Oh, you know what? It doesn't look like the pronunciation. So if you two could introduce yourselves to everybody watching here.
Who do you want to go first?
You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
I'll let you set the stage because you're better at introducing yourself than I am.
Yeah. All right. My name is Sonia Petkewich, as you so greatly said and pronounced, which is awesome. I'm a business owner here in Las Vegas. I've been in Las Vegas for, it's now 23 years. I moved here, followed my boyfriend, now my husband. So I'm married and 3 children, raised 3 children here, started my business I have 2. Started one business 10 years ago and my second one 5 years ago. My first business is a staffing company. Initially, we primarily focus in IT recruiting and post-pandemic have branched out into finance and administrative staffing and about to embark and getting approved to be on the GSA, which is the government-approved schedule for staffing within the government, which is really exciting. And then during pandemic, I opened my own mastermind and coaching business to help support small businesses with leadership and business development and coaching as well.
Nice.
Oh, wow. See, shouldn't have let you go first. Yeah, you really do knock those out the
Your
park.
business is amazing too.
I only got one. So my name's John Amar, a business owner as well, single business. I run Next Tech. It's an IT consulting and managed services firm. And I help small business owners troubleshoot their IT, secure their environment, and just take care of all the things that are tech. I've been in Las Vegas since 2000, so about 25 years. My family moved out here. My mom actually moved out here after my parents' divorce. So we came to live with my mom's side of the family. Spent my teenage and formative years out here. Spent my career and business years out here. And and I've been doing IT since, 2013-ish, always working with small businesses and doing the outsourced consulting. Did get the opportunity to work with a few big-name businesses as well.
Awesome. No, that's great stuff, man. And you had a nice 27-minute speech at our last event, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to chop that video into 5 parts because it's not uploading to our school community.
It's
too big.
It was so much important information, though.
Well, I'll be chopping it up, so they'll get it. But it's only for the inner circle. So if you want to watch this video and any other speech videos, just go on, apply to be in our inner circle. We take 10 members per month across the state. And it's a pretty fun group, and thank you for being part of it, John.
No, absolutely. And thank you for letting me go over, because I think I did that to your mastermind as well.
That's okay.
45 minutes and ended up taking an hour and 15.
Yeah, well, people, you know what? It's important that people learn things, though.
Yes.
That's really what's important. And it's also important to give them a chance to ask questions.
Yeah.
Because if they don't ask questions, they're not going to know the answers.
That's very true, yeah.
Thank you, John, for doing that for 2 different events. But yeah, those will be future Inner Circle masterminds as well, having you be the keynote speaker whenever you can. And because there's always something to teach about cybersecurity, and there's always people that need to learn about this. It's not taught in schools, and it should be.
Yeah.
So, John, what got you into the cybersecurity IT space?
A couple things. Video games, as many IT people you talk to probably started it. When I was beginning to make a transition and decided I wanted to get into IT, my first thought was I was going to be a video game developer. I taught myself C++ and all that, thinking that was going to pan out. And I was like, well, I got to get a job in IT to start getting familiar with the industry. And I thought developer and support were the same thing at the time, and they are not at all. So I got a job in support and just kept going from there. Realized I liked that a lot more than coding. That, and I had some early influences when I was in high school. I got to be in the computer lab. I got to do a lot of work for setting up IT at my high school. It was a relatively new building, so I was fortunate to be exposed to that at the time, and that just planted the seed.
Nice.
But the video game bit is what kind of drove me into there.
Okay, cool.
Irony being I don't actually play them that much anymore because I'm too busy doing the other stuff.
So it was a lot of it inspired by video games?
Yeah, I was always a gamer when I was a kid.
What specific games?
It's Age of Empires 2, any of the Sim Cities,
Okay.
StarCraft.
That was a big one when I was a kid.
Yeah, so those were the big ones when I was growing up. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'd heard about the Sims like pretty much every other day, man. People were obsessed with it where I went to school.
Oh, dude, my wife is like Sims 4. She watches people on YouTube play Sims 4, build their house, and like it's still big
Have you
out
two
there.
ever dressed up as Sims characters for Halloween?
No, I haven't. Although
Don't give her any ideas.
I shouldn't give
Oh,
her
crap.
ideas.
Well,
Yeah.
sorry, Tatiana, we give you ideas.
I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. And so, Sonia, what got you to start your mastermind? Like, what is the biggest influence on that? I know you said you started during COVID, but like, what was the spark?
Well, the spark for me really was when I wanted to be a business owner. The way that I got support was seeking out those who had done it before me. And so I had worked for a number of staffing firms. And the last one that I went to work for, the idea specifically in going to work for this particular one was to get ownership. They had a woman business owner that was leaving the company. And if you know anything about minority-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses, and women-owned businesses, there's a certificate that is available that helps you get business within industry. So there was a woman who owned part of this business, and she was leaving, and she recommended me to come into the business, take over the business through earning and producing sales. And so I was told, hey, if you come work for this company and produce a certain amount of sales, you'll get equity ownership. I, of course, being a very competitive person and good at my job, I exceeded those expectations, and over a period of time, never got the ownership that I was promised. And so I learned
Sounds
a lot
like a scam.
I learned a lot through that. I think I have to take ownership of some of the things in that, although I got some things in writing, I didn't have a contractual agreement. I had, competitions and emails that said, hey, Sonia, if you do this, I'll give you equity. That person didn't keep their word. And so there came a point where I was like, wait a minute, what am I going to do here? I want to take control of my life. I went through some personal development courses, and I learned if it is to be, it is up to me. And I had just had enough. So there was a point in 2014, 2015 that I sought out the support of a coach and a mastermind group here with some of the most amazing leaders that had well-established businesses. And I said, please help me. I either want to start my own business or I want to buy this business out. And they kind of looked at me a little bit crazy because I didn't own a business yet I wanted to be part of a business ownership group. And they let me have a seat at the table for 9 months, and they coached me through that process. And at the end of 9 months, I bought out my part of the business.
Oh, nice.
And so through that process, I kind of fell in love with it. I fell in love with the fact that business owners could come together one day a month and work on their businesses together and support each other. There was no competition. There was total vulnerability and conversations and collaboration and support. And every time I went, they were, pouring their hearts out or just pouring out innovative ideas or strategy that they needed support on, as well as myself. Like, hey, I need help understanding this contract, or I need help understanding factoring. And because I was learning that, at the end of 9 months, I was able to put forth an offer, and I sat at my desk as the DocuSign was coming through, and I became a business owner.
All right.
And I loved it.
A lot of moving parts to that story. That's
Well,
awesome.
I think, when people come together, like in your meetings, and like you were saying, when you're learning from each other, you're growing.
Oh, for sure. And how many members do you have in your Catalyst Mastermind currently?
Well, I have 3 different groups, and each have a varied amount of members in them. I have a mixed gender group, I have a women's only group, and I have an incubator, and they all serve a different purpose. The incubator group really is my baby, and I love it. I love each of the groups. My incubator group is a 1-year group that helps baby businesses, I like to call it, that are sometimes they're like side hustles or they're businesses that haven't fully launched. That one is
Startups.
Startups. That one is going to start again in the spring. So I'll be looking for new members for that group, and I'll be looking for anywhere between 6 to 10 new members every year to be in that group. And once they grow and graduate out of that group, they go into my other
What's the
groups.
timeline for them to apply to qualify?
They'll be, applications will probably be open November, December of this year.
Okay, and then they have till what, March 1st?
Yep.
Okay.
Choose in.
Got about 3 months, guys.
Yeah.
Hurry.
For sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so you got into that with all those moving parts. You enjoy what you do. And what is your favorite part about the mastermind?
Oh, that's a great question. I think, I mean, every month is different, and I think I'm really fortunate to get to facilitate and lead the group. But I also think like every month there's sort of this like, hey, here's an opportunity for you to do this, and I reflect back, and there's these three little fingers pointing back at me, so I grow when they grow. And I think everyone's a mirror. So there's times where I'm sitting with someone, and I think I get to be here to help them learn something, but I'm also learning and constantly growing. I have 2 businesses I get to pour into every month because I'm learning and growing with all the other businesses that I get the opportunity to coach every month.
Oh,
so
that's
kind of
amazing.
exciting.
Awesome. And how did you and John meet? Because I know that you came into the last event really together, but with like 2 different professions going on. Is she in your mastermind, or what's the deal?
Well,
No,
John,
I'm in her mastermind.
Oh,
John
because
and
you got your own mastermind groups too, man.
Well,
Well,
John,
no. When I say mine, I'm talking just
Yeah.
the groups that I'm in multiple different.
Well, John
groups.
was originally, I was with another MSP, a managed service provider that supported my company that really grew, and they decided to have a different focus and not really focus on small business. But I really liked John, and I've always liked John. And then John came to me one day and was like, hey, this company is going more enterprise, which is large organization, and I'm going to step out, and I'm going to finally fulfill my own dream to be a business owner, and I'll be supporting more small business. And will you take this leap with me? And maybe your account can come over to my company with the blessing of the other organization. Not like he was stealing me, although I probably would have left anyway with him. He wanted to go out on his own and do this. And at the same time, he was seeking support in how to make sure the foundational systems were there for him to be a successful business owner. So he supported my business. I supported his business. He chose into the incubator program, and we're kind of like Mutt and Jeff out there in the community.
Yeah. No, I remember I was like, hey, I'm going to start my own. Would you want to come with me? And you're like, hey, glad you're starting it. I've got this incubator program.
I was like, please help me.
So that works out. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm really a good customer, though, because something's always broken in my world, though. I'm always like,
Oh, no. You're
support at nexttech.com.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, it looks like you complement each other in these ways,
Yeah.
entrepreneur-wise. That's great.
Well, I think that's the neat thing about Mastermind is like we're constantly learning from each other. We're constantly challenging. We have interesting and similar backgrounds from growing up from childhood to the challenges we face, the programs that maybe, we face as money, parenting, all those things that we kind of look to each other. I think I'm learning from him as much as I hope I'm teaching him as well. And then the groups that we're in are pretty fun.
The groups, the community, and like you said, being able to learn from each other and really kind of bounce ideas off. Like that's the benefit of all this and these masterminds, and plus the structure a mastermind brings. Because every month we're talking about some new or different aspect of business. Yeah, getting to really build off of that has been huge and instrumental for where I'm going.
And as a small business, I think I would be lost. To kind of toot John's horn for him and for all the people out there, I don't know which camera to look at, that don't have managed service, that manage their own IT. John's company, and if you really think about, do you need IT support or not as a small business, it's really, people think, oh, I'll just do it on my own. But having someone to bounce IT strategy, do I need to buy new laptops? Do I need to secure this? How do I do credit card servicing and PCI as a small bit? Like all these things are things I can talk to John about that he's helped me manage costs. I just switched my voice over IP, my phone system, my voice over IP system with him, and like, hey, what do I do? Who do I talk to as the business owner when I have so much else going on in my business and family, and I need someone to strategically talk to me about my cost center, which is IT, right? And I find that having someone as a partner, not someone who I just write a check to every month to just say, hey, he's managing my IT and I don't have to think about it, which is also a blessing, but someone to like every month and every quarter sit down and go, okay, here's what's happening within your IT world. Here's where you could be more strategic, Sonia. Have you thought about adding Copilot? Have you thought about where you're spending money? Hey, your laptops are going to be end of life in a couple of years. Here's what you can do. Here's what you shouldn't do. Your network at home is intertwined with your kid. Like all these strategies, like small businesses don't think about that. And when you think about cybersecurity, this is who I go to.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that, and kind of throw it back at you too. It's kind of a reciprocal thing because on the mastermind side of it, there's so many different things I didn't know about business. Whether it be, budgeting, financial forecasting, actually how to sit down and do marketing and social media. You beat me over the head with that one a lot.
Things we're
Still
always
not the best
talking
at
about.
it,
Yeah.
But being able to reach out and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, or I've got this issue going on. That's been huge. And it just makes you feel less alone.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things. And we've talked about that is being a business owner, you can feel isolated and alone. It gets kind of scary.
Yeah.
And so having a group of people to just lean on and bounce ideas off and at least see you're not the only one going through it.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the big reasons for these events, man.
Yeah. No. And we had I know my employee's going to kill me for talking about this, but she opened something in my environment and almost instantly opened some ransomware. And John's company was instantly able to, it involved like Homeland Security even emailed me, and John's company was there, lickety split, to like support me through it. And I was like, holy cow, is this actually like happening?
Yeah.
But I think, you could probably speak more to a lot of companies don't take cybersecurity very seriously.
Well, it's a difficult thing to take seriously because it's a moving target. It's changing constantly. I think we mentioned this in the presentation I gave, but especially with the rapid development of AI, they're consistently a new cat and mouse game. We develop a fix for something, then there's something else. And then we develop a fix, then there's something else. You're constantly having to update your policies and how you do things.
Yeah.
It's tough to manage.
If criminals find ways, they're not going to stop.
Right.
Yep.
And humans we're not perfect, right?
No.
We always want to try new things. And I think AI and chat and all this is super fun, but people don't think how quickly things can go sideways in your IT environment if you just click this or try this, and what's secure, what's not, what's my data, what's now living out for everyone to take advantage of, and people don't take it as seriously as they should.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you were talking about different types of ransomware, malware, and all this ware that was
As a service.
as a service.
At the end,
and like talk about different password apps to use for things. You guys who didn't come to this, you really missed out. The next one's going to be for the inner circle only. So sorry, too bad. You were lucky to have a public networking event, have this guy headline.
Yeah.
But the next one what I'd like to have you back for is an inner circle mastermind. We could do it at Josh's rooftop again. That awesome spot with those sick views for members only, not for the public. And because that's really a members only type of presentation. Like, because that's such high value. I was like, man, that might be one of the most high value speeches I've ever had at an event of mine that I've held. Because all this stuff you're talking about, I have to go rewatch the video to really remember everything. There was a lot that you were pointing out about the apps like Claude, ChatGPT, and these others for AI. And then you're talking about the different password apps to use, multi-factor authentication, which people think it's just one way, but you said there were like
Multiple
4 or 5 different ways to do that.
Yeah.
So like we had a deep dive, and that's why, I want to keep having you back, man, at least twice a year, dude, because what you're doing is teaching some really high value stuff that's going to protect a lot of businesses. Like it would have been nice to have more people at that one. I think the problem was they saw it as just a lecture and not really a fun networking event. And it's like, well, here's the thing. It was both. And it wasn't just a lecture. We actually had audience Q&A. I mean, there's so many events that go on that have these lectures for like 2 hours at a time.
Yeah.
And the events are 2 10-hour days and there's barely any networking. And it's like, all we had was 3 hours.
Right.
Like, it was 3 hours of one night. And people were telling me, oh, the Golden Knights opening game was a big part of it. But I'm like, okay, but how about the entrepreneurs that want to maybe, I don't know, learn something really important for their business that could save their business? Like, put the game off for another day.
Well, John,
Well, it wasn't even just the Golden Knights game. We also had the WNBA
yeah,
game.
the final on TV.
And they just won the championship.
And they just won the championship. So
Well,
it's,
I think
wow.
you said it very. You said you brought something up that night, and the way you said it was like, these attacks are happening where they're going after businesses, and the ransomwares, sometimes just 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. But even on the small end, as a small business, do you have 20,000 or 50,000 to just give away to a ransomware attack?
Well, and I think, hitting that too, when you talk about cybersecurity, this is falling off, but there is still that assumption. I'm just a small fish. They're not going to target me.
Right.
But like you said, it targets small business. And on average, on the low end, average-wise, $25,000 an incident for a small business.
Right.
I can think of myself. $25,000 will put me out of done. We're done
Yeah.
at that point. It could not afford that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So-
why would you work this hard to have a small business and to put all the blood, sweat, and tears? And you go to all these networking events to learn all the fun stuff, to your point.
Yeah.
To go and learn the fun stuff, to
Yeah.
network, to
Yep.
meet all the people, to broker all the deals,
Yep.
to learn marketing, to learn sales, to
Yep.
learn AI, to learn all that, to then
Yep.
give it away in a
Give it
cyber
just
attack.
one incident and boom,
Right.
it's gone. And to hit on that, it does affect small businesses. One thing I
Yes.
want people to really understand is that you don't have to be targeted. We talked about it at the
Mm-hmm.
event, but some of these things are just traps out there on the web.
Yeah.
Like phishing emails, it's just a net. They're just casting a net and they're taking whoever bites.
Yeah.
So realistically, it can hit you at any size.
100%. I mean, think that the thing that my employee downloaded was like a rental agreement in a zip file.
It was. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a little trap sitting out there on the
Yeah.
web waiting for somebody to bite.
Yeah. And so it's protecting your business, educating your employees, and then with the advent of COVID, which I don't think people pay enough attention to, is the work from home. It's great, it's convenient, but you're taking a work environment and bringing it into your home network. And then you have kids who are interacting on the same network, right? And they're clicking away on the internet.
Parental controls, everybody.
Yeah, and most don't have that. Most don't have a segmented network. Most don't even know what a segmented network is. I can't even say the word 3 times fast.
Oh, well, I mean, no, most, you wouldn't have that. That's not something you get set up, and that's not
No.
something your ISP
People
will
don't think
set up
about
for
it.
you know. I think we talked about that at the event where
Yeah.
well, won't Cox come in and set this up as a guest?
No.
This is something that you need to do yourself, and
Yeah.
you need to have a fundamental or functional strategy around
Yeah.
it.
So the bad guys, bad actors know they can get to your kids online, which they're doing more and more now with
Yeah.
all these evil things with sextortion and hacking. They're figuring out how do you communicate. They get to your parents. Then all of a sudden now they're into your parents' email, which can get to the work stuff,
Yeah.
which is super unfortunate.
Now, I feel like you are promoting me pretty heavily here. I
Well,
feel kind of bad, but I
Yeah.
I
appreciate
just think
it.
it's cybersecurity
It
awareness
should be
month,
though.
and it's so.
I mean, we're already gonna ask you towards the end of this where to find you both at. That's
Yeah.
how we finish the podcast.
but it's really important. And
It
it's-
is. Yeah, it's important stuff, and that's another thing you guys missed is when he's talking about how they target you because your kid's being online because
Yeah.
kids don't know any better.
They don't.
They click the wrong links, or what was it you were saying? The kid would be like, "Hey, Dad, I'm supposed to do blah blah blah," and then
That was Mac.
Mac, yeah.
So Mac.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he came out and spoke with me, and he's really passionate about cybersecurity, especially protecting from the elderly and the children. I focus heavily on the business, but he's building up a nonprofit, Hacking the Human, focused specifically around who's targeting the elderly and who's targeting children, and how your children can be used to target you as a government official or a large enterprise business entity. The specific example he gave was, this was a real world thing that happened. A child I think it was soccer or lacrosse, some kid sport thing, teenager. They were doing it, and somebody snapped some photos of them out there on the field and sent them to them. And what they did was they injected malware into the photo file. And so when the child shared the photo with their parents, they were actually going after the parent. They were able to get that malware on the parent's phone.
that's so crazy.
I might be mixing up the stories, but this was actually a government person, the parent was. And
Wow.
It was going through kind of a battle exercise, so it was more of a test, but they were able to use that
Yeah.
to get to their phone.
And the most vulnerable are the kids and the senior citizens, and through relationship scams, sextortion with kids, it's really just shameful.
And when we talk about cybercrime today, it's scams. It's
Yeah.
just scamming. It's people ripping people off, and so a lot of that becomes how can you trick somebody into doing something, and they use the complexity of technology to confuse people and then just get you to do something that you shouldn't do. But at the end of the day, it's a person ripping you off.
And because things are so easy on your phone, or a click, 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 and before you know it, you've taken an action that you almost can't undo sometimes, which is really scary.
Yeah, that's
So,
bad.
Yeah.
Can't undo unless you prepare for it.
Right. Yeah.
Preparation.
Yes, exactly. For sure. For sure. So, yeah. What other questions do you have for us? I know. I'm ready. Bring them on. Bring them on.
Well, we're not even a half hour in.
I know.
So,
Well, we could talk about lots of things.
Well, that's point of having this episode be an hour.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot that the three of us could talk about. But yeah, I mean, this event was the second time that you had presented on cybersecurity. and they were both public networking events, not inner circle events yet, but one took place at the spot where we only do the masterminds on the rooftop.
Yeah.
Just because Josh and I talked about this, the door locks easily. Like, you have to keep going downstairs to let people in. Keep
Well, tell me
going
more
down the
about this
elevator.
mastermind. How is it like structured?
So the way the masterminds work in the inner circle is that it's 1 hour of a long form. So I would love to have you do 45 minutes to an hour of that in a long form presentation. And you would have audience participation activities as well as Q&A. So it's like 3 people want to come up here and give me real life examples of what they do and what their situation is and how we can go through the process. Then we go write it down on the whiteboard. And, because he's got all that stuff in there too, go write it down on the whiteboard. And then people would just learn from the situation, like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that's all the stuff I had to do. And then, okay, next person up want to do the same kind of thing and learn about how their situation works. That's like a audience participation activity. Then Q&As would just be for anybody who didn't do or did, and ask you, John, like, hey, so how about this or that? And then we would just go on to about another half hour or so of networking where it's like actually structured. So like 3 to 5 people in groups, and they have to switch every 10 minutes on a timer.
Yeah.
And we'd go over different types of networking that my mentors taught me.
That's awesome.
So it would be very different than a traditional public networking event. Those are actually now the first Thursday of every month at Security National Mortgage Rooftop in Henderson, which is like right down the street here.
Yes.
John's been there multiple times. The rooftop view is insane. I mean, you can see the whole valley really from up there. Yeah, so great spot. And so first Thursdays, we've already got our first Thursday set with November 6th. That's where our friend Pablo will present along with Josh about mortgages and insurance and how they go together. So we're excited for that one. And actually, we have Trev from here in the studio who's going to be presenting about how to profit off of podcasting
Nice.
on December 4th at the same spot. So
Yeah.
first Thursday every month. I mean, if you want to be part of it, we got applications open, got 9 more spots for the month, and the first 30 days is a free trial. So
Awesome.
that goes on the rest of the year. So
Yeah.
I can text you the link to that after this, but it'd be great to have you join. And there's a lot of perks that are involved with that, and I have an Instagram post that shows all that.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, and part of it will have like his speech archived in there, and we'll have group calls archived. We just did one today that was every Monday at noon. We have a different topic. And John, if you want to do one of those too, about cybersecurity for like talk for 10 or 20 minutes about that in a group call. We don't do it on Zoom. We do it on the school app.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't need Zoom anymore. I don't know if you knew that, but it's a cool new feature they just added. So if you're building a community of any kind, school is a cool one to do.
That's
They
awesome.
charge like $97 a month or something like that, but there's so much you could do with it,
That's very cool.
and it's a great community. It's a great platform.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the difference between the inner circle and the public stuff. There's different people I have that are contributors that I'm having potentially do fire tricks. One of them, I met her about a week ago, and I was telling you about that was who I was going to see. So she might, depending on her work schedule, be able to do some fire for this first one. Just like literally she closed her mouth, it was fire, twirls the fire, like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
We just have to make sure it's welcome
Safe.
on the rooftop.
Yeah.
But she's pretty good at what she does inside of a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then one of your friends from a mastermind you introduced me to does holiday decor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Brianna.
Yeah.
Brianna,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking about that for future events as well. So there's like a pretty good team that we've got going already.
That's awesome.
Contributors, and we just pay each other through promotion, not through dollars.
That's amazing.
So it's nice.
Yeah. So what is it that you like so much about entrepreneurs? Like what's motivating you?
Because
you
when I
do.
started the group, I wanted to find various professions of people that I could trust
Yeah.
for various services. So now I know who I'd like to get for mortgage lending down the road, like Josh. Who I'd like to get for be my realtor down the road, looking for property. I already found a chiropractor through this and multiple other venues. but also going to other networking events and realizing I could build something like that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the guys, shout out to Arizona Entrepreneurs in Phoenix. One of those guys who runs that group is my mentor, Jeremy, and he's a great dude. He's taught me more than people who have charged me money for what I paid for. Yeah. So
That's awesome.
yeah, and he didn't charge me a dime, so that was pretty great.
Yeah.
Just a lot of belief, so that was cool. And yeah, these are fun. They're fun events. I mean, there's different themes we have. You've seen them. Like we have military and first responder appreciation nights. We have health and wellness nights, and we have mental health awareness nights. So I think one thing I've learned, because I had to postpone another event in Phoenix, is that I'm going to try to tone down the educational promotion and just increase the networking promotion and just let people know that that's an added feature to it. Because I think the problem I'm having is that people are seeing it as a lecture when it's not just a lecture.
Yeah.
It's actually not even 1 hour presentations. It's 2 hours plus of networking in 3 hours.
Yeah.
So that's a messaging error I've had on my part, but you know, that's an easy fix.
Yeah.
But yeah, so public and inner circle are separate, and I do those not only here but in Reno too.
That's amazing.
So we got Reno set for November 20th, the first one there.
Yeah.
And the woman who's presenting is a social media videographer person.
Very cool.
So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of moving parts, a lot going on, but yeah. For you two, what are your 2026 goals in your businesses?
Oh, we were just, I
we
know.
were talking about doing goal setting. There we go. So.
Yeah. We were just talking about this in our mastermind this past month.
Oh, okay. I will
Yeah.
go first. I'll
Who
go
goes
first.
first?
I'm the one who brought it up in the mastermind, so I'll throw that out. But no, so 2026 goals for my business. I am planning to hire in 2026. I am hoping to be able to do it in Q1. Might be a Q2 thing. We'll see how the rest of this year closes out. I want to be able to just pull myself out a little bit from the day-to-day tech work and have somebody kind of start taking that over so I can focus more on my business development side and a lot more on the networking side, being able to be more in front of the small business owners that I work with. That's really the major goal for me, is just getting to that point, and anything else that supports that. From there, if it happens early in the year, like I talk about, I will probably add on an extra end-of-year goal around automation and automating the systems that I have so that I can keep my overhead low on the employee side and just really focus on developing the people that I do bring in while still delivering that same quality service to my clients.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Way to go.
So a lot of it's hiring and scaling.
Hiring and scaling.
Yeah.
Hiring and scaling. I mean, I will say, it's in my industry and the work that I've done, because I've worked with multiple companies that have kind of gone up and built up and scaled up. The scaling is what kills you, especially in IT, outsourced IT firms, because the product is what you do. The product is what you can provide. So you're only as good as your staff and how many people your staff can support.
So do you talk to any HR people or culture specialists about this stuff?
Yes. Yeah, actually, whenever I meet an HR firm person. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was just saying, I have
Yeah.
somebody I recommend for you as well if you need some help
I'd
or
be
some
happy to
advice.
talk to them. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
one of my
Shout out to Lindsay
major-
Bradley, Guide Arrows.
One of my major lessons that I've learned is to be open to somebody who does something for a living and hearing what they have to say, even if you feel like you've already got it, even if you feel like you know how to do this thing. There's always a different perspective. There's always something that you don't know. Even if you're an expert on it, if you're talking to other experts,
Yep.
listen to them.
Yeah.
Hear what they have to say. You'll learn something.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, just it's always just shut up and listen, right?
Yeah.
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 So what about yours, Sonia? 2026 goals?
Well, with the two companies in my Torian Consulting, the staffing firm, I definitely want to add $1 million in revenue. So it's a pretty big, lofty goal, but I feel like it's definitely achievable. And in Catalyst, it's pretty specific to my goal is to have 6 to 10 members in incubator launching in the spring, and then to add between the same 6 to 10 between the two other groups. So it's really about membership growth, and it's not just any member. They have to be growth mindset, small business, and really want to be a part of the mastermind community.
Well, that's why we have applications for our groups, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, for
Cool.
sure. How about you?
Hit capacity on 2 separate public networking events. Goals have way more people coming over.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of why I'm starting the Inner Circle only masterminds, smaller, more intimate rooms where people who want to be in smaller crowds, but like the most serious entrepreneurs can get in those rooms.
Yeah.
Because I'm pushing to just have higher numbers of attendees so that when you go to the public networking events, you have more choices of people you can meet every time. I mean, it's what Arizona Entrepreneurs do. It's what Wicked Awesome Happy Hour does. Those are two different networking events in Phoenix. One is for Inner Circle members only, and the other one is free. So it just really depends. One has presentations along with networking. The other has no presentations. That's part of why it's free. But they're more established by 4 to 10 years each than I am. So right now it's just, and I'm not going to make the public events ever be only Inner Circle because I believe new people should always just be able to come.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody wants to or is able to commit every month. And it's not just about the money. It's actually, because we make it very reasonable here.
Yeah.
It's really about the time.
Yeah.
There's some people who are like, I can't do this every month because I got to travel a lot. I can't, so I'm sorry, I can't be a member. I'm like, don't be sorry. It's your schedule. It's your business, dude. But, you know, if you're a serious entrepreneur, we've got an application for you and we've got a place for you as long as you're somebody who's actually going to come and add value.
Yeah.
I don't want to take, you know, your membership money if you are not going to be an asset to the group. If you are going to be someone who is always late, you know, to the masterminds, that's a problem because we have to let people in the locking doors. And it's like that in Reno too. So for those, we have this place called the Generator Reuse right outside Reno and Sparks. And same thing, the door automatically locks for anyone that I don't let in. I'm a member, I have a key card, and I have to let them in that way. And then they can't be let in after 7 p.m. over there. So if you leave after 7, you can't come back in. That's how they do it in that building. So we have to follow building rules. So yeah, it's the goal is get them closer to 50, 100 people at as many of these events as possible. And then it'll also be a great way to drive more interest towards the events as well. That's part of why I got interested in the Arizona Entrepreneurs events. I'd see their highlights. I'd see a lot of people in the room. I'd be like, okay, cool, I want to come. And even without that, I'm happy to have more people offering to sponsor the events. That's great. That helps a lot, especially when it comes to other event costs and things. And it also helps them promote their business. And I don't know anybody else who does this, but if you run an event, you should be allowing your sponsors who pay all that money to be on a podcast right here. Give them that exposure. Like, seriously, because then it's like, okay, now you gave them 2 channels of promotion and exposure.
Yeah.
And also podcasting does a lot. I mean, people love to see video. Working on an what's it called? An audio version of this. Yeah, so that I could put it on the Nevada Entrepreneurs eventual Spotify page.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you can listen to it in your car. I mean, you can listen to a YouTube video, but it's a little distracting on the side. It is better when you can just listen to audio if you have to drive somewhere.
Sure.
So I'm taking that into consideration. So far, we have 9 episodes on YouTube. This is number 10. But yeah, so give your sponsors a podcast opportunity. Whether you go to the studio at an upgraded sponsorship cost or you go to bring your own equipment out to them like I've done. I think some of you have seen the episodes I've recorded where I literally drive to their home and their business and we just record with some microphones.
Yeah.
And it's cool because like my friend Lindsay, she has this amazing backdrop in her backyard out in Sparks.
That's the exact one I was thinking about. Was
Dude,
Lindsay.
it's
That was a
crazy.
gorgeous view.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got an insane view. I'm like, how did you lock up that house? And she's like, we got it at a really good time. It would be cost us way more now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because it was just, the view's insane over there, dude. Yeah. So yeah, give them a spot on the podcast. Do podcasts anyway. I mean, I'm surprised that the guys at certain other networking events they host don't run their own podcast. I'm shocked. It's like, that's a great way to increase your exposure in any business.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why Trev is going to be sharing about this December 4th because, yes, you can get sponsors for your podcast. Don't be afraid to ask people around. But if you don't, record anyway.
Yeah.
Just, you got to start somewhere. And having a studio like this, super grateful for this.
Yeah.
Like this includes editing done for us.
Yeah.
So looking forward to the 5 to 10 caption reels that Trev sends over like he always does. And then we just post them on our social media, and then that's more exposure as well, because not everybody wants to watch a whole podcast, but they want to watch the most important parts.
Sure.
So whether that be minute and a half, 2 minutes, reels can be up to 3 minutes now. But the point is, shorter form videos of clips of what we just talked about, that'll be good for us to all have that for ourselves. So, yeah, 2026 goals is hit capacity on multiple occasions, at least 3 or 4 times in the year. If that means I have to increase the ad spend, then so be it. That's fine. And that's really the biggest one right now, because I've got businesses I want to invest in portions of at the moment, but they're not really related to the events. They're just separate other things. Have you two heard of Start Engine? It's like a website where you can find businesses to invest in.
Nice.
And it tells you what the minimum amount you have to put down is for shares.
Okay.
So like there's a couple breweries where like one, you put down $250 minimum. And then another one, you got to put down $750 minimum, and you get paid per share. There was a thing going on I unfortunately missed where a brewery in Flagstaff had a $1 per share thing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. So
Was that Start Engine?
startengine.com. It's a investment site. So for those of you, startengine.com, investment site, if you're looking for businesses to buy shares of, to be partial owner of, that's a great one.
And I'm assuming then these aren't like publicly traded companies. They're still private, but they're going through a
A
different
lot of them
vehicle.
are public, yeah. So
Oh,
this-
so they are
No,
publicly
sorry,
traded.
private.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are private. So like the Mother Road Brewing in Flagstaff, that's just like one brewery. I think they're doing that to try to expand to Phoenix.
Nice.
They just
Yeah.
have to generate the capital. And generate a
Yeah,
little
they've
bit of
already
equity.
raised 1.2 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, so that was pretty solid. A lot of believers, so that's pretty great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm looking at, is just investments in that. And next summer, I mean, moving for the season to State Line, Nevada, Lake Tahoe. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, getting away from this heat. It's nice to have lease terms where I live be down to 7 months.
Nice.
So I can end it May 31st like I am, and then just be by the lake for a whole season. And as you two already know, I host events in Reno and Carson anyway, so that's
Nice.
nearby.
Yeah.
And I'd still come here in the beginning of the month. And yeah, just for 3 months, live by the lake, do a couple different types of work for income. And doesn't cost that much more than here. And just get away from this heat.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets pretty brutal being 115 like this. When it's like
Doesn't
75, 80
I
up
don't know.
there.
I'm used to it now.
I
I've been
know.
here for so long. It's not cold is what gets me.
I
If you get below 40, I'm
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well, no, I mean, I can handle it. When I was in the mountains so much this summer, I just
Yeah.
felt like I might as well just live there for
Yeah.
a season. Like, if I'm able to just move over there for a season, I'll just do it.
Oh yeah, no, I don't blame you. Like the mountains are beautiful. I love going up to Mount Charleston, Tahoe's.
Yeah.
So gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
a majestic place, man. I
Yeah.
love Tahoe. And it's like, I mean, I've been here in the summer, 2 seasons, and the heat
Where are you from originally?
originally just outside Chicago, but
Nice.
I had lived in San Diego, Maryland, and other places. I've lived in 5 states.
Nice.
But yeah, the summers here, I'm just like, if I can be in Lake Tahoe up there, I might as well just spend the season
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's really what
Yeah.
I want. It's like, it's just about how relaxing it is up there.
Yeah. I'll send
And
my
there's
husband to go
so
live with
much
you.
to do up there. It's crazy.
He wants to get out of the heat. You
Yeah.
can take my husband with you.
Don't think so. Yeah, so you got your goals for 2026. And
What have been some
Yeah.
of the biggest lessons you've learned in business?
I can actually jump on that right now if you want.
Yes.
Yeah,
what
go ahead.
happened?
Yeah, no, I mean, biggest lessons learned. I mean, don't give up. Keep trying
Yeah.
and look for
I was
creative
going to say the same
ways
thing.
to solve a problem. I mean, I'll talk a little bit about my own journey to business ownership. So that I've been doing IT support since 2013. I ended up working 10 years at one particular company, and I was there when they were small, 4 to 5 people, all the way up to, I think we went to 40 at one point. And I grew with that company. And during my time at that company, one of the most important lessons that I learned working with the owner was his tenacity and his way to always take a problem or an issue and turn it into something that you could benefit from. Never get bogged down in the negative. And, a little bit of the background story, because we talked about how we transitioned. You were being supported by that company. There was a time where I was talking about buying in and getting some stake of ownership with that company. And then when I left to start my own, it was actually because that door had closed due to different reasons. And it was the right move of that company structurally and what they were trying to do. But it would have closed that door for me or made that almost impossible, at least for the near future. And the owner sat me down and we talked about it, and we talked about, where my career might go from there. And one of the things he discussed is saying, hey, as I make this change, there will be clients that we have that won't fit the model anymore. If you want to start your own thing, because I know that's what we've been building up for, you can take that option. And I'll be honest, at the time I was a little like, well, I don't know if that's not the path that was laid out for me. But I sat down and I thought about it, and I looked at it and realized this was, one, a very gracious opportunity because we didn't have to do this, but two, it was kind of the universe just opening up that door, that window, and if I'm not willing to take it, then I don't really deserve it. And so I said, went back and met with him, and I said, I'm going to go and take you up on the offer, and from there, I've just been building and building. So that's my biggest lesson in business is don't let a negative thing stop you. There's always another way. There's always another route. It's that saying, when one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's really great.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say the same thing about consistency is key. And then also have a template to learn from others who did it before you. Yeah. So a lot of the stuff I've learned is from what my friends at Arizona Entrepreneurs did, but I don't do things exactly like them. I just have a similar structure.
Yeah.
So learn from others before you. Consistency is key. And don't repeat the same failures twice. Meaning, like, if this method didn't work for bringing people into an event, then you got to switch it up. Yeah.
So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing
Oh,
over and
gosh.
expecting a different outcome.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not actually a definition, but
Right.
Well, then what are yours?
I think a blend of both. I mean, for me, I always love learning. I think if I'm not learning, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? And I think I always think of where's my role in it, like coming from a place of responsibility, not victim, which is probably similar to kind of what you were a little bit saying. It's like when one door closes, it may hit you right in the ass, right?
Yeah.
And it might hurt, but and there may be a very good lesson in it. And so, being a business owner of 10 years, I think there have been a lot of lessons in that journey. Obviously, if you think of the time frame, there's a couple of downturns in there. There's COVID. There's a lot of, stress and strain, raised kids, marriage ups and downs. And, thankfully, all of those have survived those challenges. But I'm the consistent in that. So what's my role in it? Who do I get to be in all of those moments to create the business that I want? And if I'm coming from that place of who's Sonia and what does Sonia want and how do I want to be as a leader, I think that is always the place that I want to come from. I think when I was in my very first mastermind, I think, it was a very emotional time for me to I want this business and this was promised to me and victim status. And I think those gentlemen, I was at the time early, I was the only woman at the table. And so that was like a big, how am I going to handle this conversation? But I think the biggest lesson early was it's not an emotional decision, it's a business decision. And so although my business is very emotional to me, I'm very attached to my business and it means a lot for me and it means a lot for my family. sometimes I have to pause and just think, okay, what's my role in this, and how do I get to make a business decision that makes the most sense? And it may have some emotions attached to it. You know, I'm human, but how do I make the best business decision going forward? And what is my role and responsibility? And am I making it from a place of responsibility and responsible, or am I making it from a place of victim status, right? And so I'm always looking and very introspective, and sometimes I don't make decisions right away because I need time to think about that. I need time to think, okay, Sonia, what are you really wanting to create here? What are you hoping the outcome is going to be? And what are you projecting? What are you coming across as? And what does your come from? And who do you need to be in this moment to create the outcome that you want? And so that's been of evolution. I don't know that I made all those right decisions and choices and responses early on. I think I got better with it over time, and I'm still always working on it. But I have a group of people, right? I get to facilitate masterminds. I'm in my own mastermind. I have women that I meet with consistently, and I go see twice a year, and I'm on the phone with them once a month. I think I'm always learning too. And I think that's important. I'm always trying to find new tools to put in my toolbox so I can help other people be better. But if I'm going to teach a tool, I need to learn the tool on myself too.
No, that's great. And what qualifications are you looking, like what are you looking for most in people that apply to be in your Catalyst group, for like specifics? Like what do you need to see out of them before you'll accept them?
I think they have to be willing to learn and grow. I think what you put into a group is what you get out of it. And so much to your, being willing to not like let the door lock on them. They need to want to show up and participate. And
that's why we have a time. Just show up by 6:45, or we're not letting you in. Go to the next one.
And it's a commitment. You need to want to be there every month, because every month the group is evolving and learning from each
Different
other.
topics.
Yeah. And people show up their most vulnerable selves. Like we talk about business 100%. We're there to move the needle in our business.
Yeah.
But I think John can attest to this too, how, and maybe you as well, is how you do one thing in one area of your life, you tend to do it in another area. And so sometimes in the room and in coaching, we don't talk about business. We talk about personal. You may have something going on at home that is affecting your business, and you may have something going on in your business that affects home. And that space and that time together is there for us to be able to talk about that. And, in 2 years, I've sent 2 kids off to college, and that was very emotional impact for me. The first one, maybe not as much the second one. And then she went off to college, and she had a little bit of a breakdown. And I was like, oh my gosh, emotionally, I was not prepared for that. And so for a day or so at work, I was a little distracted. Right.
Yeah.
And so as business owners, I think a lot of times we feel like we're on an island and we have to do it all. We have to be chef, cook, and bottle washer. And that's not, we can't do that alone.
No.
Right. And so, I look for people who are about growing, who have big plans. They might be wanting to scale. They might be wanting to innovate. They might be wanting to transition, whatever they're at, but they want to grow and they want to learn and they want to pour into other businesses.
I was going to say, want to add value?
Yeah, they want to add value and pour into other business owners as much as they want to, there has to be a give and take.
Do you hold events specifically for your masterminds, like in person, or? We
meet once a day in month in person, and then you have the coaching 1-to-1, and most of that coaching does take place in person. Very rarely people want to do that virtually. Yeah. And we have talked about doing more social stuff and volunteering and growing the group in a more interpersonal way as well. So that's exciting. In our women's group, we did this month, we didn't meet in the room. We actually went to a women's event out at Lake Las Vegas called Take the Lead. So we try to mix it up, and I pay attention to what the group needs. Yeah. And I look for speakers that speak to what the group is facing. And just evolves. We read books. We have book clubs. We have speakers come in.
Yeah, we have sales coaching opportunity. You brought in that independent, even a value add class on the side.
I try to pay attention to what's going on and add value where I can add value.
That's awesome. And where can they find you both on the websites and social media? John, you want to start?
Yeah, actually, so you can find me at nexttech.vegas, and then social media. I have not taken the advice yet, so I'm just on LinkedIn. Although I feel LinkedIn is a perfect model for me
Yes.
anyways, but you can find Nexttech on LinkedIn as well as John Amar.
Yeah, and it's Next Tech with a C.
Nexttech with a C. Actually, if you can see my shirt here, that's what you're going to put in there, nexttech.vegas. Yeah,
I'm your biggest promoter.
you are.
That's awesome. And then for you, Sonia?
Same. I do have lots of social. Catalyst.vegas is our website. But I also have separate social media for the Catalyst Mastermind, Opulence Mastermind, and Incubator Mastermind. But if you just look for Sonia at Catalyst.vegas, you can email me there.
Nice. And then you can find myself at Instagram at Dylan Rosner, DYLANROSNER, all one word. Nevada_entrepreneurs. And the out-of-state events impact social nights, like when I host in Phoenix, Denver, and other places coming up. And the website is nevada-entrepreneurs.com. And then, yes, I am on Facebook, personal page, working on rebranding the Nevada Entrepreneurs Facebook page. But yeah, that's where you can find me. But yeah, just wanted to thank you both for being on this episode 10 of this podcast and recapping our event from last week. It was a good time. And thank you all for watching. Any closing words, either of you want to say to the audience?
Protect your IT.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah. So okay. You did so much a good job of promoting my business, but yes. Yeah. So closing words. IT can be complicated. Cybersecurity space is kind of scary, and it can get really overwhelming. But the reality of the situation is, just like anything in life, it's a day-by-day growth. It's a day-by-day learning process. So don't shy away from cybersecurity or even supporting your IT just because it seems scary. Find people around you who can help support you. Use different tools out there to educate yourself and really invest in that side of your business, because every business is a digital business today. And so you have to be aware of what's going on and you have to stay on top of it. And again, if you have any more questions or you want to learn more about that, feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah.
All right.
And the same, I think every business owner, I believe, can and needs to take advantage of being in a peer-to-peer advisory group or a mastermind. And I'd love to at least have the conversation and have coffee with me so I can help you figure out if one of my groups is a good fit. And if it's not, I'm absolutely open to helping you find the right mastermind group that is a fit for you. And so I always just think it starts with a conversation. And I think have a conversation with any one of the three of us will help you find the right community to be in here in Las Vegas.
Absolutely. And if you really got a lot of value out of this video, please like, subscribe, comment, share this. It goes a long way. It helps all of us. And we look forward to seeing you on the next Nevada Entrepreneurs Podcast episode. Thank you.